Hello, class. Welcome to our class, and today we have perhaps the most important topic of the whole class, and that is safety. The American Society of Civil Engineers Canon number 1 states that safety of the workers and the construction and operation of facilities and protection of public health is the number 1 responsibility of civil engineers. Okay, we've all seen this sign before. OSHA is obviously not a small town in Wisconsin. It's a funny story and gets a lot of laughs, but OSHA's safety is a serious matter. OSHA does overall a very good job of protecting worker health and safety, and they've implemented a lot of important rules and regulations. These websites will be helpful to you in reviewing this information provided in this video. Okay, there are a lot of hazards involved with field work. Insects, snakes, traffic, dehydration, trees falling down. Construction obviously has the many hazards and opportunities for accidents. Excavation is particularly prone to problems with cave-ins. And reports of improper excavation is the most likely cause for an immediate OSHA inspection. In the operation, there's clearly electrical problems. Water and electricity don't mix too well. Falling into water and wastewater tanks is a serious hazard. Confined space, hot work, chemical exposure, process safety management is an important part of risk management. There are obviously hazardous chemicals, pathogens, and so on. Today we're going to discuss 3 major hazards in water and wastewater facilities: the depletion of oxygen, the use and handling of chlorine, and pathogens. Okay. In the absence of oxygen, the inhalation of only 1 or 2 breaths of nitrogen or other inert gas will cause sudden loss of consciousness, fainting, and will rapidly lead to death without some kind of intervention. In many cases, people have succumbed to oxygen depletion, and coworkers attempting rescues have put themselves in danger and very often led to multiple fatalities, situation that also occurs in drowning. Oxygen depletion becomes a serious problem when the oxygen concentration falls to less than 18%, which is not far off the normal atmospheric concentration of 21%. Oxygen depletion can commonly occur in water and wastewater treatment plants as a result of biological action, but also in confined spaces from steel rusting, chemical reactions, the presence of nitrogen or other inert gases, combustion, and other causes. Chlorine, in gaseous or other forms, is very successfully and safely utilized in nearly every water and wastewater treatment plant in the country. And its use is essential in protecting public health and the environment. Chlorine is frequently managed in liquefied form in cylinders of 150, 50, and 2,000 pounds. Chlorine addition using water reductors is very well established. These operate under reduced pressure under a vacuum, and their use is well established and over decades. Chlorine can also be used in the form of sodium hypochlorite, a liquid bleach, and calcium hypochlorite tablets, which is common in pools and swimming pools and very small wastewater treatment systems. The inadvertent addition of Acid and bleach generates chlorine gas. In some cases, facilities have used electrolysis to generate chlorine on an as-demand basis using the electrolysis of salt. Sodium chlorate can also be used to generate chlorine for disinfection. Chlorine or hypochlorite combined with ammonia forms chloramines, a highly toxic and irritating gas. I was at the company headquarters after hours when the cleaning staff inadvertently did this, and more than 50 people had to be evacuated. Fortunately, there was no serious consequences. The OSHA permissible exposure limit for 8 hours for chlorine is 1 part per million. High dose can be immediately fatal. A few hundred parts per million can be fatal in 30 minutes. In many cases, death occurs due to pulmonary edema, in which case fluid builds up in the lungs and you effectively drown because your lungs are full of liquid and can't transfer oxygen. Recovery from low levels of chlorine exposure can take a number of days. There are few pathogens of concern in wastewater and water treatment plants. Obviously, though, pathogen destruction is an important part of water treatment plants. In contrast, there are many disease-causing pathogens potentially present in wastewater treatment, including bacteria, virus, and so on. Pathogen reduction is foremost in the evolution of sanitary engineering. Dr. John Snow, the father of epidemiology, proved that the source of a cholera epidemic in London was a well contaminated by fecal matter. He tracked that down and removed the handle of the well, effectively ending an epidemic. Dr. Snow is also famous as a leading early investigator of anesthesia. Drowning. Drowning is an obvious hazard when you're in water and wastewater plants. In addition to falling in a tank fully clothed, there's very infrequently any kind of convenient means of getting out of a tank. They usually have a sideboard and no ladders. Wastewater have similar problems with the addition of the pathogen in the wastewater. In addition, aerated tanks have a much lower bulk density, so even a life jacket cannot support personnel. Falling into a water or wastewater tank may sound like a joke, but it's a very serious matter. So, I hope this has been interesting and one of the first of many more videos to go.